Hey, I'm Johnny May and welcome to Piano with Johnny. Now, sometimes it's fun to light the piano on fire, to just blow people away and do something really exciting. And today I'm going to teach you one of the most exciting styles of piano to play. It's 1950s rock and roll piano. Now, this arrangement was originated from the legendary Disneyland pianist Johnny Hodges, and I've taken his arrangement and developed it a little further. And today I'm going to teach you some really cool techniques from this style of piano. Now, you're going to learn some really cool things. You're going to learn the basic 1950s rock and roll groove in the left hand. It comes from the left hand. And it kind of just drives the whole song. Then you're going to learn this theme that's going to repeat throughout the arrangement. This is a really exciting kind of bluesy theme. And as you can hear, there's those slid blues notes, which sound really cool. Then we're going to do a little throwback to some music prior to the 1950s era. So we're going to do a little shout out to some boogie woogie piano and swing music. So we're going to do a quote from Pinetop Smith's tune called Pinetop Boogie, and that sounds like this. Then we're going to do a little throwback to swing music, quoting In the Mood. And In the Mood was a really famous swing tune from the 1940s, and we're going to adapt that into the arrangement. And last but not least, how can you forget the legendary king of rock and roll piano, Jerry Lee Lewis. Jerry Lee Lewis was one of the greatest rock and roll pianists. He was very famous, of course, for Great Balls of Fire, and he was known for doing this crazy high rock out octaves where he would just pound on the piano, and so we're going to do something very similar to that. So a lot of fun stuff to play. Now, this is a preview lesson for my course, which is on pianowithjohnny.com, and you're going to learn some techniques from that course. But of course, if you'd like the full course, check it out on the website, pianowithjohnny.com. I do want to warn you that things may spontaneously combust when you play this, so I'd have a fire extinguisher nearby just in case. All right, let's hop in. I'm going to show you some of these cool things. So, first things first, introduction, we're starting at measure 1, we're going to stop here at measure 13, and we're going to talk about the chords first. So this is a 12-bar blues form, meaning we're only using 3 chords primarily in the piece. So the first chord is C7, which is C, E, G, and B flat. Okay, that's a C dominant 7, and we're going to play this chord for the first 4 bars. The next chord, so go ahead and play this position, you can do it in both hands. It'd be nice to also play some inversions of this. So first inversion has that E on the bottom. There's our second inversion, you can see the notes there. Just get comfortable with these chords because this is going to be repeating the entire song. Next chord is the F7. By the way, the C7 we can call the 1 chord because we're in the key of C. So C is on the bottom, that's the 1, right? Well, if you go up 4 steps from C, you have the F, so we can call this the 4 chord. So F7. Notes are F, A, C, and E flat. I play these in both hands, and also go over your inversions of this F7. Get comfortable. The last chord we're going to play is a G7. Okay, and I'm kind of skipping ahead here, but the G7 is here. This is B, G, B, D, and F. Again, do that in both hands. Get real comfortable playing all these positions. So those are your chords. 3 chords, that's it. We're going to do this the entire song. This is typical of blues, and this is another reason blues is somewhat easier to play than traditional jazz, where you have a lot of chords and reharmonizations and kind of weird cluster chords. This is a little more simple. So it's definitely great for an intermediate, even intermediate beginner level. So form. So when I say form, I'm talking about, okay, what measures, what chords go where. This is a 12-bar form. We're going to play the 1 chord, the C7, for 4 bars. Okay. So we're going to kind of sit there. F7 is going to be for 2 bars. We're going to go back to the C7 for 2 bars. We're going to do G7 1 bar, F7 1 bar, and C7 2 bars. And in total, this will add up to 12, and this is where we get the term 12-bar blues, is because, well, this is the traditional form. There are variations of the 12-bar blues, but this is one of the more basic ways of playing the chords, and it's really effective. It's awesome. So once again, C7 for 4 bars, F7 for 2, C7 for 2, G7 for 1, F7 for 1, C7 for 2. Awesome job. So let's talk about this left hand pattern. This is going to be really important because, again, it's going through the entire song, and we want to get this in our muscle memory. So we're going to really work on this for the next couple minutes here. So this rock and roll left hand pattern, so fun, so driving. It goes like this. Okay, a lot of drive. And what we're doing here is we're on the 1 chord, the C7. So what we're doing is hitting the C and the G, that's the root and the 5th. We do that twice. And then we go up to the minor 3rd, E flat, up to the major 3rd, E. That's the entire pattern. And I would just practice that pattern over and over and over again. Literally, it might take you, 15 minutes the first time. It's kind of awkward, but the point is you want to get it in your muscle memory to where you don't even have to think about it. It just happens. You start playing it, and it goes by itself. Okay? So you're going to do this. These are 8th notes. Okay? So this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's one measure. So we're going to do that 4 measures, right? Because we have a C7 for 4 measures. So here's going to be our C7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2. That's 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to take that pattern up to F7. Same formula. Remember, we had root 5th up to the minor 3rd to the major 3rd. Same thing for F. And that's F and C twice. A flat to A. There's our pattern on F. So we're going to do this for 2 measures. 1, 2. Great job. Next 2 measures are C7. Well, we already know our C7, so we're going to do this twice. 2 measures. 1, 2. And by the way, I'm counting measures. If you want to count the 8th note, you could count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, measure 9, if you're following in the sheet music, is a G7, same pattern on G. This is going to be G and D twice, B flat to B. There, that's our G7. That's only 1 bar, okay? This is the only time in the form that we play the chords once per bar. So G7 1 bar, F for 1 bar, and C7 for 1 bar. And that's the form. Okay, and just a little note there on the left hand, some people find it easier to use the 3rd finger because the 2, you got to kind of squeeze in. This is a matter of preference. Also, this is rock and roll. I mean, this isn't classical music where everything has to be pristine and perfect. You kind of want a little perfection, or a little imperfection. You kind of want it to be a little rough around the edges. So if that 3 suits you better, that's the way I play it. I think that's the way a lot of people play it. So you can use either one. And again, I'm talking about using that 3 in the middle or that 2 in the middle. Okay, let's play through the form once in the left hand. Again, really important, get it in your muscle memory. One way to practice getting something really in your muscle memory is to talk to someone while you're playing. And that'll really test you to see, hey, how much do I have to actually think about what I'm doing? Okay, let's do measures 1 through 12. This is the whole form. And we'll start on C7, okay? Let's go about a medium tempo, and I'll count you off. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, measure 3 and 4, 2, here's 5, F, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Awesome job. Now practice that many, many times. What we're going to do now is do it once at tempo. This is full speed. And again, I would actually get it to this speed before we learn the right hand, because you don't want to be worrying about the alignment of the hands so much. It just needs to be automatic. So here it is, full tempo. This is the intro. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nice job. Okay, so that's the left hand. That's going to repeat throughout the song until we get to the octaves. So right hand on the intro, we're not quite to that melody that you heard earlier. We're going to wait for that. We're going to do this cool little intro where we're just kind of popping the chords here. So let's go over the chord positions. C7, we're playing here. We got this E, G, B flat, and C. Okay? And we're going to have some fun with it, and we're going to slide the G. Okay? So hit the chord, but when you hit it, slide that G with the chord. Okay? So that's going to be our first position. Second position will be F7. Okay, this is a fun one here. This is E flat, A, and C. Okay, and I like to slide the A here. Okay, and that's kind of a tricky position there, getting our hand up high enough. Third finger slides the A in the middle. Okay, our last chord position is the G7. That's going to be right here, F, B, and D. And we're going to slide the B when we strike the chord. So those are your position. Once more, C7 is E, G, B flat, C. Slide the G. There's our F, and there's our G. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to do the right hand in this kind of cool rhythm, and the rhythm's going to go. I'll go and play it for you, and then we'll break it down. Okay, so we got those cool punchy notes, then we have this little melody in the middle. So what we're doing in terms of rhythm is we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the rhythm, again, which we slide the notes. I didn't play it that way just now. But essentially the rhythm once more with the slid notes is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that little melody, we add a slide. This time it's a double slide. So we hit that G by itself. Then we go G, G sharp, A, using 2. And then the 3 slides the A from the G sharp. So we have. And so that's going to happen every time between chords. Okay? Let's line the first 2 measures up now, both hands. Okay? Here they are. We'll go slow. Okay, you see that? So again, one more time, real slow. We're going to go even slower this time, and I'll count it this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Nice job. Okay, we're going to keep moving on. Measures 3 and 4 are exactly the same. Okay, same deal. 1 and 2. That's where we land before our F7, which goes like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We'll do this one slowly. Here it is. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Great job. Okay, next 2 measures, C7, same thing as before. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. G7 is only 1 bar, okay? And by the way, this right hand pattern is a 2 measure pattern. So we're going to do G7 on the first bar, F7 on the second bar, but keep that pattern going, okay? So I'll play this for you here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so the chord changes, but the pattern doesn't change. We'll do this slowly. This is measures 9 and 10. Here it is. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and measure 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're to our last two measures. Next measure is a C7, same as before. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then our last measure is different. We're going to go to a G7 to set us up for the first A section, and that's going to sound like this. Okay, so right hand we got F and G together, just a little cluster there, a little crunch. On the left hand I actually go top and then octave. So this is a G on the top, and there's our G octave. So together it's going to go. Alright? And that takes us through the entire form on the intro. So let's do this once, about medium tempo. We'll play the whole thing, and then I'll get you started on the first A section. Here we go. Intro, measure 1. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Here's our F. C. Measure 9. Here it is. F7. All right, awesome job. Let's hop into the A section. Hey, thanks so much for checking out this course. It was a lot of fun to show you some of these tricks and tips. If you enjoyed this, check out the full arrangement on my website, Piano with Jonny, and I will teach you every single note, start to finish. You'll have this in your own fingers. You can perform for your friends and family. It's a lot of fun to play, and I teach all of the theory behind it. I teach every note, and I teach you the formulas and the tricks to take this style of piano and apply it to other songs. So you're going to learn kind of the basis of this style and then be able to use it elsewhere. So it was a lot of fun, and look forward to teaching you in the next lesson. Take care. Hey guys, I'm Jonny May. Welcome to Piano with Jonny. Now, if you ever have the urge to burn something down, if you're like a pyro or something, you can actually do it with the piano. It's pretty cool. Or if, the apocalypse happens and, we have no electricity and you need fire, you can actually play this arrangement here and it will produce fire and melt things. Like my clock. I mean, it might melt you if you stand too close. Piano with Jonny is not liable from any damages caused from fire due to this arrangement. Thank you.